Welcome guys, thank you so much for joining in. So looking at this Bitcoin price action, you can see the price of Bitcoin right now in a weekly time frame is flashing a very interesting scenario. We are going to start this in a weekly time frame. We are going to switch it into daily, 4-hour and also in an hourly time frame. And later in this video, we are also going to talk about Ether USD price action. So definitely watch it till the end. So starting this analysis right now in a weekly time frame, we can see this price movement here from this 2017-2018, this impulsive move and corrective move. Again from 2019, this impulsive move, then corrective move here, and now again this impulsive move. So we want to find out what is actually happening here in a bigger time frame, because in a bigger time frame things looks very different. Right now if you look at this and monitor this price movement here from 2017-2018, when we had this long-term bear market, you can see from this swing high till the swing low level, if you monitor this price movement, actually I've already talked about this scenario. Price had a correction, we had a bounce, and this bounce came exactly at this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. We were unable to find support over that, and what happened after that, you can see a correction appeared, right? So now look at this here from 2019, impulsive move from this swing high till this swing low. We had a similar scenario, price correction, a bounce here to the upside, and look at this bounce also came exactly at this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. We were unable to find support of that, and then again a correction appeared after that. And right now after this impulsive move, if you look at this price structure here of Bitcoin using this Fibonacci retracement, again from this swing high till this swing low level, you can notice guys that this price right now is also appearing around this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. So this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level is around 36,981. So what we want price of Bitcoin to do in a bigger time frame is to hold the line around this 36,981 price level. If that's going to happen, then there is a very likely scenario that we are going to at least test this 40,000 to 41,800 price target here to the upside. Any sort of rejection from this one, this 0.618 Fibonacci, could be a very dangerous sign, because you can see in the past Bitcoin price action, getting rejection from this 0.618 had led to a longer term correction in 2017, 18, 2019. So we have to be very careful in a bigger time frame. And what we can also do guys, what we can also do today is let's do candlestick mathematics, okay? Because if you add this candle here, this 1 2 3 4 5, so we are only going to focus on this candle here, okay? 1 2 3 4 5 candles here. So if we add all this candle, we need to find the higher body structure, lower body structure, where the body actually closed. For example, this was the highest body close, the lower body close was this one here. So now we need a body here. Correct me if I'm wrong doing this candlestick mathematics. So this was the top wick and this was the lower wick. So now if we look at this candle here, this candle here actually closed right now here. So now what you can see here, this actually looks like long leg doji. So if this is a long leg doji, then you can clearly see this is actually a very important scenario, because you have to understand that this very long shadow here, what we are witnessing, is also showing that there is an indecision of buyers and seller. That's why we want to be careful around this in a bigger time frame, because also if you say like, hey, this is not a long leg doji, this is a dragonfly doji, but doesn't matter what you look, it actually shows that buyers were able to absorb the selling pressure here to the downside. You can see this weak rejection here to the downside, and they push the price to the upside again at the starting point, right? So you can see now this is showing that there are some indecision happening right now in a bigger time frame. So in a bigger time frame, we have to be a bit careful, okay? So now if we switch this into daily time frame, you can see in a daily time frame, the price structure here is in a very interesting scenario, because yesterday I showed you guys this price here could be changing or switching the trend direction. Because if you have watched my video from yesterday, I told you that this price movement here, this was clearly a lower highs, lower low continuation pattern, right? This lower highs, lower lows continuation pattern. But here, if we monitor this price movement, this was flashing us another story. I mean, this was again higher lows, higher highs continuation pattern. So I told you guys that this trend might be switching here and moving in an upper direction. And you can see since then the price has also started moving in an upper direction. Nothing new, but right now what I'm actually trying to show you here is that this price movement, if you have watched my video from yesterday looking in a 4-hour time frame, we did talk about this price structure here. I said to you guys that this price movement, what we were witnessing, could be following this ascending channel. And what I also did was I added this Fibonacci extension and showed you guys this price movement here where we could be possibly heading in a short-term trade, right? I gave you this example here. You can see again this 0.618 here acting as a resistance. You can see here acting as a resistance, and to the downside is 0.5 Fibonacci extension level of 36,900 is acting as a support. So right now we know that there is a support at this 36,900, strong resistance around 38,000, price level to the upside. So if we are able to break above this 38,000 and find support above this 0.618 Fibonacci extension level, then there is a very likely scenario that we are going to continue further. Our next possible target, if we are going to break this 38,000, would be 39,590 price level. So this here to the upside, this 0.786 Fibonacci extension level is our upper target. And again, if we are also going to see any sort of a like aggressive impulsive move, then we should also be looking at the upper target level of 41,600 to 41,800 price level to the upside, right? These are some upward target I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin price action. And also, if you would see any sort of rejection again from this 0.618, as I've already said, you guys expect move like this. If you have watched my video, I told you very loud and clear, if you are going to see any sort of excessive pullback, then also this 35,794, this 0.382 Fibonacci extension level could be acting as a support. And then this is still, for me, going to be a move in an upper direction. And this is exactly what I said to you yesterday, right? And you can see we did have this price pullback, but price still managed to continue in an upper direction. So now for us, a very important price target to look for is this 38,000. If we are going to break above it, then there is a very likely scenario, this neckline, right? Then very likely scenario of price continue in an upper direction. So this is what I see right now, looking at this in a bigger time frame, daily time frame, 4-hour time frame. And if you look at this in a hourly time frame, if we monitor this price movement here, you can clearly see, guys, in hourly time frame, you can see this price structure here looks like in a double bottom type of scenario. You can see, right? So if this is going to play out as a double bottom, the price movement here, you can see a very nice double bottom, to be honest. And you can see exactly after reaching the neckline area, that is where we found rejection, right? So this here, this neckline has to be broken. I told you with this Fibonacci extension, 38,000 is a very, very strong resistance line. So what we want our price here is to find proper support above this neckline area around this 37,800 to 37,700 price level. So if the price of Bitcoin right now could find support above it, then there is a very likely scenario that we are going to continue in upper direction. So the upper target here for us would be from this neckline to the bottom area. So in that case, if this is going to continue further, you can see, guys, the upper target is going to be around this 39,000 price level for Bitcoin. And if you want to look at this in a bit different way, not like with this double bottom type of scenario, no problem, because you know this here could also be playing as a descending broadening wedge. You can see this price structure here is a very nice descending broadening wedge scenario. If I remove these lines here to the downside, right, and if you focus only on this descending broadening wedge scenario, so you can see we have clearly broken out of this upper line of this descending broadening wedge, which previously acted as a resistance. We broke out of it. We had this pullback, and look at this pullback is also exactly at this upper line area. So this is also flashing that, hey, breaking this neckline would turn the price of Bitcoin very, very bullish. So we might be clearly hitting an upper direction if we are going to break out of this neckline area. And if you want to look at this target here from this descending broadening wedge, right? If we are actually going to see any sort of a breakout, then you can see here also almost like identical, the price target here to the upside, 39,000 could be on the line, guys, right? If you look at this, because if this descending broadening wedge plays out, then the upper target is around 39,000. And if this is going to play out as a double bottom type of scenario here, then also our upper target is around this 39,000 price level, right? So if you want to say, hey, this is not the descending broadening wedge, this is not the double bottom, this is a reversal scenario, this 1, 2, 3 reversal, you can see 1, right? You can see 1, 2, 3 reversal, and this pump here is exactly what we are waiting. This is exactly like double bottom scenario, guys. So that's why we must break this neckline area around this 37,800 to 37,700 price level. So if that's going to happen, then there is very likely scenario that we are going to continue further in an upper direction. So these are some scenarios I see right now looking at the price action of Bitcoin in a weekly time frame, daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, and also in a hourly time frame. So now let's look at Ethereum price action. So now if you look at this Ether USD in a daily time frame, what we can do, guys, is use again this very simple scenario which we talked also in my previous video, right? Because if you look at this price structure, this is still following this ascending channel scenario, and this is very, very important to understand, because once we were able to break out of this, we got a pullback around the upper line area, and then an impulsive move followed here. But now you can see breaking out, we saw some sort of a pullback, and this is also a sign that this trend here still has a lot of potential to continue further in an upper duration for Ether USD. I've told that many times, and you can see this price movement here to the upside is also following that exact scenario what we have talked in my previous videos, right? And if you want to know this price structure here or this price movement to the upside, what I also like to do is add this Fibonacci extension again, because we have to find out what is happening here. Because if you follow only this Fibonacci extension level for Ether USD in a daily time frame, you can see this price movement here looks pretty clearly following this Fibonacci extension price level. Because if you monitor each and every Fibonacci extension level here, this Fibonacci extension level has been playing a very, very important role for this Ether USD in a daily time frame. Look at this, guys. 0.38 to Fibonacci extension level acted as a very, very strong support, and this is pretty visible here. And if you also look at the 0.5 level around 1300, we did had a pretty strong support. And look at this is clearly showing that, hey, how important these Fibonacci extension lines are. And look at the rejection after reaching this 0.618 here. Rejection all the time, you can see. But once we were able to break out of it, this was a very bullish move in an upper duration, breaking the 0.786 Fibonacci extension level around this 1460 price level. So now we are around this 1655 price level. Any sort of a price pullback, this 100% Fibonacci extension level around 1574 is going to be a very strong support. You can see that did actually hold the price here, and then I'm still going to look at the upward target level. I'm actually looking at this 1900 price level as my next possible target for Ether USD in a daily time frame, because it doesn't matter how you look, the trend here is clearly flashing. Since it's also making this higher low scenario, you can see any sort of a pullback here to the downside, you can still find support around this 1460 as well, right? Any sort of a bigger pullback, and then still going to continue, because this is still a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern for Ether. And if we switch this time frame in a smaller time frame, what we can also do, guys, let's actually go in a hourly time frame, because right now this price structure here, if you look at this scenario here, right, clearly following this ascending triangle scenario, and we got a breakout, right? We got a breakout. Right now the trend does looks like it is going to continue further in upper duration. But if you look at this scenario here in hourly time frame, this is also flashing a very, very interesting scenario, just like with Bitcoin, because this is also acting as a descending broadening wedge, and this descending broadening wedge did got a breakout and a pullback, which was pretty like normal, because now we know if we are also going to break this neckline again, which is going to be around 1675, then there is a very, very likely scenario that we are going to continue further in an upper duration. And also according to this descending broadening wedge, the upper target for us right now for Ether USD, if this breakout is going to take place, it's going to be around this 1760 as our next potential price target. And if this is going to play out as a double bottom type of scenario, because this here, you can see, let me show you one more time, right? This is a clear sign of a double bottom type of scenario. So breaking this neckline is going to give us a very, very bullish scenario that this is going to continue further in an upper duration. And doesn't matter how you look at this price structure, guys, I want to make it very simple, and you can see still. So for me, the next possible target, as I've said you, is going to be around this 1760, and the next target to the upside, following the previous example, is going to be 1900 for Ether USD in upcoming days. So these are some of the scenario I see right now. And if you want to look at this in a bit different way, it doesn't matter how you look at this, the price here is clearly showing a very interesting price movement, because if you follow this single trend line here, this single trend line, you can see support, support, support. We were unable to find support, we got a price pullback. But if you look at this price movement here, this was a clear uptrend. So now what we could be making is another scenario like this here, guys. I'm actually expecting a pretty similar move in this manner here, right? Following this ascending channel again, because this here, if you look at this price structure here, using the ascending channel, you can see breaking out of the ascending channel, we had this price drop. So now what could be possible scenario is that we could be following another ascending channel for Ether USD in a smaller time frame, because this ascending channel could be playing out right now for Ether USD in an hourly time frame as well, because you can see with the previous example here as well. So this is a very interesting scenario to understand, guys, because each and every movement here to the upside, you can see how important this trend line has acted so far. Look at this price movement here. This is very visible, to be honest. Broke out of it, came back to raise the previous resistance line, found support, headed in upside. Rejection, came back to test the previous resistance line, headed in upside. So this scenario has unfolded again and again. So right now, if you look only at this scenario here of Ether USD following this new ascending channel, if you look at this price structure here, pretty similar, right? You can see we are getting rejection after reaching the previous point here. So now you can see if we are going to break out of this, right, this resistance line here to the upside, just as I said you, 1670, 1680 price level, then there could be another move here in an upper direction. So we are going to make similar type of scenario here as well, according to my analysis, because let me show you this in a pretty easiest way. So this is what I'm actually expecting from price action of Ether USD also in upcoming days. So guys, these are some of the scenario I thought sharing with you in today's episode. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. If that's the case, then hit the like button, and also if you're watching this for the first time, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell. So now, by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anoop. Bye bye guys.